Hope I got to unmute myself. If you're on Instagram, I can't see the comments. I can only see the YouTube and Facebook comments come up onto there. So I'll try and keep up with it a little bit. But what awful games, this weekend. We got to kick it off. We really need the Bears, who've been playing well, to beat the Lions. Lions have not won on Thanksgiving in like 7 years. We've got Tommy Cutlet's Bowl against Cooper Rush. And then we've got the Dolphins. They've got Tua back. They're okay. We need the Dolphins incredibly bad to beat the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a good team. Eagles are far and away going to win the division now. They've jumped up several games with help from the Cowboys actually over the Commanders, but it's always good when an AFC, for the most part, when an AFC team beats an NFC opponent. Call me crazy. I've seen the t-shirts where you root for, I see shirts like Go Eagles and anybody who's playing the Cowboys. Those shirts. Unpopular opinion, those shirts are null and void for me right now. The Cowboys, I think, have 4 wins. The more wins they get, the more teens their draft pick gets. So you could make the same case for the Giants going into this Thanksgiving game. Maybe I think with the Giants only have 2 wins. Maybe you want the Giants to get their 3rd win, Cowboys to stay at 4, them to finish at 4, 5, 6 wins. But I do not want the Cowboys anywhere near the top 10 in this draft. I want them to pick in the teens. I want to see the Cowboys crumble long term, forever and always. I want to see the Cowboys lose. So it's I watched the Patriots Dynasty documentary, and there's the episode where the Patriots are the most hated team, and Spygate, and they are just bludgeoning teams 40-7, averaging like over 41 points a game. And the Giants come in the Super Bowl. I think it goes up without saying, almost everybody was rooting for the Giants in that Super Bowl. The Giants beat the Patriots, and the Patriots never finished their undefeated season. I say all this because how far have the Giants fallen from then? When I was growing up, with Vic more so in the 90s, he obviously hated the Cowboys. I grew up in the 2000s, total millennial, and the Cowboys had a few good seasons here and there with Tony Romo and things like that. But the Cowboys, for the most part, or the Giants rather, for the most part, in my younger years, they were the team. Michael Strahan, they were a playoff team. Eagles were always in the playoffs through the Andy Reid era, but the Giants won a Super Bowl when I was in high school, and they won a Super Bowl again when I was in college. So the Giants were always the team. I had a friend with a Jeremy Shockey jersey growing up. How far have the Giants fallen? And to anyone who thinks that it keeps going viral and keeps recirculating around the league, that the Giants, blew it by signing Daniel Jones and by not signing Saquon Barkley. You could make the same case for the Carolina Panthers trading Christian McCaffrey. You can make the same case for the Baltimore Ravens acquiring Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. These teams that are bad have no business paying a running back. I honestly do think that the Giants made the right decision. And yeah, it's hard to watch for fans of these players and fans of these teams because the Ravens were already a good team, and they got Derrick Henry. Just put them on a whole nother planet level. We play them this week. And Saquon Barkley with the Eagles' offensive line, which has had a little bit of shuffling this year, but I mean, just far and away the best situation a player like that has ever been for the most part. So, again, Thanksgiving, we'll talk a little LA, an unforgettable trip and evening there, and we'll get into Eagles Ravens. So stick around. And as always, if you want to see your comments on screen, my YouTube and Facebook brethren, let's get it. I'll never forget McNabb's first Monday night against the Giants, the first time the Giants beat the Pats. Yeah, dude, like that was really good, man. Like they had O.C. Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, and how far have they fallen that we've got to now watch Tommy DeVito. I don't even know where Tommy DeVito went to college. And we got to watch Cooper Rush. That's the point some of these teams are at this year. Eagles acquired a pretty productive edge rusher from the Carolina Panthers that these guys do not want to win at all. If there was a team without a quarterback, Daniel Jones would be a great choice. But at this point in the year, teams do not want to win. They won't say this, but you've got Daniel Jones now on the Minnesota Vikings going to a contender. Should anything happen to Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones and the Minnesota Vikings played each other in the playoffs the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. So, again, reasons why I want the Cowboys to win. I think they're picking like probably outside of the top 10 right now, and they'll firm that up with a win this week and picking the teens and not make the playoffs and so on and so forth. So, interesting little nugget too. And I'm going to go through the Thanksgiving Day games. The public money, people, for my gambling people out there, the public money this year has been doing absolutely outstanding. The public bet the Eagles heavy, and I hated the lines. I hated the Lions. I hated that Devontae Smith was out, and majority of the money, 60, 70% was on the Eagles, and the Eagles won. Same for the Ravens. A lot of money on the Ravens. I hated it traveling east to west. The Ravens won. The Eagles won. Just because the public's betting on it, I know a lot of people like to fade the public and believe in the refs. I think that's more of a basketball thing than an NFL thing. In the season, it's come true. The Lions have 75% of the public betting is on the Lions and the public money. And there is sports books right now where you can get the Bears. It opened at plus 4.5. There's books now where the best odds, you could get the Bears at plus 9.5 and tease up a point and get the Bears 10.5. The Bears have been playing great football. When it's close, they lose. But I love the Bears plus the points, and the Lions have not won on Thanksgiving in almost a decade. Giants, Cowboys. Giants plus 3.5. It opened at Cowboys minus 8.5. And the best odds I've seen are the Cowboys minus 3. Take the Cowboys all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. I hate to say it. Tommy Cutlets, it would be fun, but I don't buy it. And then you've got the Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers. The money is like almost even Steven here. The night game is going to be a really good one. I will be rooting for the Dolphins, but if I had to put money on it, I'd say the Packers home, Lambeau Field, playoffs, everything they've got on the line. Take the Packers. Take the Packers. Thank you for being with us this week. I've got happy Thanksgiving Eve to all that celebrate. All right. LA trip. Shout out to West Coast Swoop Nation. Shout out to Birdman951, who I didn't get to see at our bar in Costa Rica on Philly Sport Trips. I did not get to see them. I was with my family that lives out there. So we got out there Wednesday, and I'll do this quickly and we'll talk. I'll get into the game and Eagles Ravens, and we'll do a little pick and get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving all. So flew out there Wednesday, just tired, long travel day, east to west. Got some takeout, California Chicken Cafe. You can read my whole recap on philthyandphilly.com. Unbelievable. I wish we could open one here in the west, on the East Coast, California Chicken Cafe. Thursday we did Disneyland, so we went with the whole family. Disneyland, I liked it. Talked about this a little bit. I liked it way more than the Orlando Disneyland, where my brother is right now. So I'm sure you'll see some of that this weekend. So look out for that. But I like California. Not a big Disney guy. I thought the park was much smaller. It was in like 4 quadrants. You had like Frontierland. You had Adventureland, which had Jungle Cruise and Indiana Jones. You had Star Wars, like Galaxy's Edge, with Rise of the Resistance, and you had like a space kind of side, uh, which had Toy Story. It had the Avengers, so it had all the majors. Like had Haunted Mansion, doesn't have Tower of Terror. Has Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, has Tiana's Bayou, which is like what Splash Mountain used to be. It's got enough, and they have a whole nother second park too. So shocked. It's only 5-hour flight out there. Parks you can get on the rides 20 minutes, 40 minutes compared to 3 hours. Was much more manageable. You could do it in a day and do other stuff in California. Just a huge fan of it. Happy Thanksgiving, Fly Eagles Fly. Huge fan of it. And that was Thursday. So Friday, yeah. Friday, I work for iHeartRadio. So if you miss a podcast any week, download the iHeartRadio app, Philthy and Philly Podcast. They have they have a whole theater there. They do award shows and concerts for iHeartMedia, iHeartRadio. They have a rooftop where they can entertain clients, lounge. They gave me a space to work. They're right in Burbank by the Hollywood sign through the hills. And there's like Universal Studios there. We took a tour of Warner Brothers Studios. There's like thousands of shows filmed on those sets. Friends, Big Bang Theory. If you watch new shows like on Apple TV and Netflix, like You and Shrinking, and on and on and on. All American, if you guys are All American fans. And they have an open lot policy. So what that means is any movie can use each other's lots. So like where we were in Warner Brothers, there was all like the fronts of the houses. So anything you see in movies where they're like driving in a car talking, they're like looping this roundabout and there's houses in the background. Like anybody can use that even if they work at a competitor's studio. There was like the center of town with a big gazebo. Like they used it in Batman movies. They used it in Gilmore Girls. They used it in like there's a coffee shops and like a bar that was used like in Shameless. Like that whole center of town like built up. There was huge columns that look like a bank, but they used it since they've had it up since the 1930s. Like Hail Caesar, black and white movies, Batman, Adam West Batman. The clip where they're like running into the bank and they reuse the same clip in every episode. They used it in modern day Batmans. I mean, that was huge. There was a huge dark kind of alley with fire escapes. They used it in like Rocky Balboa when he's standing outside and it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit. They used it in Batman movies. They used it in Spider-Man movies. They used it in mob movies, Goodfellas. Like, just the list goes on there. Incredible. That was Friday. iHeartRadio Studios, all in Burbank. Got the lay of the land there. Saturday, big family day. Santa Monica Pier, did some Eagles chants, high fiving. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving. Oil up, baby. Santa Monica Pier, corn dogs. There was like a area where they filmed like Terminator 2, Muscle Beach, shopping at the Promenade, the Brit, like the Eagles, like London kind of bars there. Santa Monica's sick. Went to Manhattan Beach, another cool beach town. Families like work in hospitals and they have kids in school, like surf and skate. Went to Manhattan Beach, had basically full dinner with like 20 family members. Um, just incredible Saturday, chill. Still got to drink, party with family, but not go out. And we had the Eagles game Sunday. So Sunday, what you've all been waiting for, Eagles Rams. We'll do Eagles Rams, and then we'll look ahead to the Eagles Ravens matchup. I was not feeling good about the Eagles Rams game with Devontae Smith out. They had all their receivers back, 0 inactives for the Rams, and the Eagles just were ridiculously good. Like, even when the game was close, I don't know how you guys felt. Please let me know in the comments. But they were still just imposing their will at the line of scrimmage. Like, the Rams had to double Jalen Carter. Brandon Graham had 2 sacks before the injury. And we'll get to that and what it means. But the Eagles were dominant. And it was 6-7. And shout out to 2-3 Grease. We got seats together. I was like, it's 6-7. The Eagles are going to score a touchdown. It's going to be 13-7. They're going to score again in the second half. It was like the end of the first half. I was like, they're going to score, go up 13-7, and then we're going to get the ball and we're score again 20-7. And this is where the Eagles are going to take over. And that's exactly what they did. They took over, got up big. My uncle actually had to catch his flight back. So it was like 2 minutes in the game, and we were about to get up and leave, and then Saquon Barkley ripped off another one. Where at that point, I probably would have had him on the bench, but 305 yards, 255 yards rushing, took the lead in, I believe, the Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley rushing battle, if you will, and maybe even the MVP race now, which was a 60 plus 6,500 that moved down to plus 650 in the matter of like 2 minutes at the end of that football game. So if for some way the Lions can lose a game, the Eagles can some way find another impressive win against a Baltimore Ravens team. This is the makings of 2022. We'll still get the bye even with the 2 seed, but we'd love to have all the home games guaranteed in Philly. I think Saquon Barkley has done enough to warrant a non-quarterback winning it. If you ask me who the best team in the NFC is between the Lions and the Eagles, I think the Eagles have a better quarterback, and I don't even think the quarterback is doing all that much. I think the Eagles have a better running back. I think the Eagles have a better receivers. I think the Eagles have better defense. I think the Eagles are a better football team than the Lions. Can the Lions somehow lose a couple games here down the stretch? Can the Eagles keep winning? They've got very little travel, the Eagles. They basically are within driving distance for the remainder of the regular season. Having said that, the best thing possible for the Eagles to happen is for Derrick Henry to win the rushing title and Jared Goff to win the MVP. Because Saquon Barkley has been playing with a chip on their shoulder. Since Nick Sirianni shaved his head, the team has been playing with the chip on their shoulder. They've rallied around him. I know all the people saying, oh, it's Kellen Moore, it's Vic Fangio. No. Nick Sirianni has like an all-time best win percentage, and I can pull it up for you. And this team is thriving. They've only have one loss at home and only have one loss on the road. They can play anytime, any place, anywhere. They've shown that they could overcome the refs in the dumbest possible way last week. And even when they're giant public betting favorites, they're winning and covering. And that whole, if you're a conspiracy person, that whole side of the equation means nothing to you. Pound for pound, roster, names, talent, far and away the best team in the NFC and maybe even the best team in the NFL. So, all in all, it was a great trip. The Eagles out there next year. Eagles are out there next year against the Chargers. And my uncle Jake hosted us. If you saw any videos, if you haven't, please check it out. His house will be ready and up on Airbnb. So I hope the squad can do it. And he put us up, no charge, but I want to just support him. Like it sleeps like 10 or 12 people. Like I legit want to just book it as if I'm a nobody, not even tell him and pay and go out there with a squad because it is that incredible of a trip. And then we spent it was great not having to leave. Usually these trips you have to leave right Monday and get out. Sometimes it's nice to just get out, come home. It was nice Monday, relaxing. Big travel day yesterday, and here we are, Thanksgiving Eve. So if you missed any of this, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We talked about the Thanksgiving games. If you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, you can just skip right through that. We talked about the Eagles Rams and how impressive it was, and we'll get to Eagles Ravens meme of the week, and all that good stuff. So Brandon Graham, the Eagles have signed a couple of players. I like it. I like what they did. I was literally crying in the car ride home watching the post game on my phone. It was just terrible. It was just awful. It was bittersweet to win, but I like who they picked up from the Panthers. I think, like I've said it earlier, um, I said it earlier. The teams now do not want to win. Like if you needed a quarterback, Daniel Jones or whatever, to compete, like there's just players being waived. There's going to be players to get, and as a rotational piece, I like what they did with some of the signings because you're going to still get Jalen Carter and some of the guys in the inside double, and you're going to have Josh Sweat mix in. You have Huff and Graham out now for substantial time, but you have Sweat. You might see Jalix Hunt get more snaps. Nolan Smith has been playing well this season. You've got a Patrick Johnson and a couple guys from the practice squad and a couple guys earlier in the preseason and training camp you like that you could bring back. You've got a few guys that you signed off waivers now, and now you're going to have healthy competition. And I'm going to be a glass half full kind of guy. You're going to have healthy competition, and the Eagles can still get it done. And they're still going to have, oh, by the way, Captain Brandon Graham on the sidelines firing up the troops and keeping everything tight. It's just crazy. Brandon Graham's your captain. Darius Slay's one of your captain, and he's hurt. And now you're seeing all these young guys come in and come in place of them. Isaiah Rodgers had a great game. Cooper DeJean had a great game. Quinyon Mitchell is just having almost an historic year. Not almost. He is having an historic year. You've got safeties galore. The back seven for the first time in forever is the Eagles' strong suit. And when you double the big boys on the inside and you've got guys covered, your edge rushers are literally getting coverage sacks at this point. And oil up, baby. So I'm still optimistic even with the injuries. So Eagles Ravens. Eagles opened as 2.5-point dogs. I've seen +3. I've seen +3.5. 71% of the money is on the Eagles. They're just rolling. I think the Ravens had to play on Monday. They had to come back Tuesday-ish. I don't know what their schedule is Wednesday, Thursday. I know the Eagles are practicing on Thanksgiving and they're going home at normal time for dinner, and they're working Thursday like a regular Thursday. The Eagles are working like a regular Friday. They're going to get down there. The Eagles are going to be ready to go. The Ravens, of all times to play the Ravens, this is probably the best case scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles because the Ravens have a shorter week. Even if they flew out right after the game Monday or they get back Tuesday a.m., their whole Tuesday was squashed. They were probably jet lagged today, Wednesday. Is John Harbaugh even practicing them on Thanksgiving? Are they going to get working Friday, Saturday? And it's going to come down to physicality and who wants to win more. And again, I think the Eagles have the better running back and they have the better defense. And it's going to be close. And it's going to be a good game. And I'm probably going to drive down there. But the dog mask is out of the closet. The Eagles are dogs this week. Bust them out. And I like the Eagles. Straight up. And what is our odds on the Eagles this week, baby? We said it was +3-ish. I'm trying to see some over-under action here. The over-under is 51 points. I think we're going to have some points in this game. You bet your butt because the Eagles scored, I don't know, 37 last week. Ravens are very, very, very capable of getting 24, 27 points. So if you have the Eagles, getting close to 30 points a game, a 51 over-under is the proper one, but the Eagles line is 23.5 points. I love the Eagles to score more than 23 points. The Ravens are 26 points. I love the Eagles defense to hold the Ravens under 26 points. I just do. I like the Eagles a lot. I mean, I'm just green goggled up. I'm green goggled up. Could be Thanksgiving Eve. Could be the buzz ball. This thing is like straight. It's the original canned cocktail, dude. It's so back. You missed me with, until one of these teas or one of these people want to sponsor me. All this like zero sugar, zero. Give me that. Give me the buzz ball. Okay. So we like the Eagles. I like the Eagles 27-23. Real big. 0% chance of rain. 39 degrees. Saquon. It's going to be a will game. I don't think Lamar can pass. Oh my God, someone just said 31-24 birds. I don't think Lamar can pass. I don't think, and I hope they're watching this right now. I just saw what the secondary did. I was really scared of the Rams, and I saw what the secondary did to Cooper Kupp. Puka went off a little bit, but okay. What is Derrick Henry going to go off a little bit? What is like Isaiah Likely or one of their tight ends have a mismatch like with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely? Is one of them just going to go off? Are you going to have one guy that gets all the production? Or is the Eagles secondary going to shut them down? And like where the Eagles are at risk in this game is do the Ravens have, like, I thought the Rams would load the box, stop Saquon, and say, Jalen Hurts beat me. Like, can the Ravens stack the box, stop Saquon, and say, Jalen beat me? And just Jalen make a mistake? Does Jalen throw turnovers and look like he did in the beginning of the year? Does they create the blueprint like the Niners did a few years ago, and everything comes crashing down? They find the blueprint to stop the Eagles. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening with these players. I don't see it happening with these coordinators. I don't see it happening with Kellen Moore. I don't see it happening with Vic Fangio. I think Vic Fangio is going to know what to do. Was a defensive coordinator in the AFC all last year. I like the Eagles a lot. Heather says 35-28. Like, they've got the Eagles at 23. That is insanely low. And if the Eagles score less than 23 points, we lose this game. I just tell me when. Like, they haven't had an output that low. Like, is the Ravens defense that good? I don't see it. I don't understand where these numbers are coming from. And I don't understand where the numbers are coming from where the Ravens over under points is 26 and a half. Like, are the Ravens going to drop 30 on you? Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. So we love the Eagles. Everyone in the comments loves the Eagles. Gotta love the homers. Again, if you're not following us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, we've got a lot of deals for Black Friday up. YouTube, we're doing a contest. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a free jersey. Please get us on all platforms and look out for crazy holiday deals. Maybe even come up with a giveaway too for you guys going into this very, very important Eagles-Ravens game. Also, if you're not doing so already, our meme of the week is presented by our friends at Ponley Hockey. I want to tell you about my friend Tom at Ponley Hockey. Tom is the crazy guy with the nice lettuce, and he's always giving away free tickets. He did Sixers tickets. Yeah, I was actually flying. I missed it. He's like, you want to do a collab and give away Sixers tickets? I missed it. I screwed you guys up. Ponley Hockey never screws you guys up because they're there for all of your legal needs. They're not just personal injury, workman's comp, things like that. And they're not just in the state of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. They can service the entire country, all your legal needs. And by the way, also, they're the official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles and now the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you're not following Ponley Hockey, on their Instagram, it's fire. You may not know it's them, but it's them. It's my friend Tom Giordano from Ponley Hockey Giordano, and he's giving away Eagles tickets like all the freaking time. So shout out to them. And our meme of the week is brought to you by them. And I'm going to award the meme of the week to my brother, who is a so he went to Disney today and missed the LA trip, watched the game, got up 5 a.m., taught at school, got up today at 4 o'clock a.m., flew to Florida with the family for Thanksgiving, did the whole nine. It was his follow-up to my chill guy meme. If you haven't checked out my content from the airport or the chill guy meme, when the opposition says Philly is the worst, but you're just a chill guy who likes the birds. Shout out to him. All of our memes. Make sure you click back through to our profile and our Instagram and check all the stuff from basically like last Wednesday before I went to the Rams to today and get caught up with everything that we've got going on. Holiday deals, link in our bio for NFL Shop Fanatics, Homage, all your discounts apply. $100 off your next overnight trip, Philly sports trips, and also if you buy before noon at Performance Meal Preps and buy a gift card, they'll add 20% more money on your gift card. So if you want to meal prep, if you want to buy for the next week, the next month, the next few months, you order it by Friday and then it gets to your house like Sunday or Monday. And then you have food for the entire week. And you can buy a gift card, say $100, and they'll give you 120. You buy $200, if my math is mathing, and they'll give you a $240 gift card. So if you're going to order meals and stuff, their meals are already super cheap. You can get a 20% lift on your gift card. And order by Friday, always every week, 5 p.m. And you're going to get it guaranteed by that Sunday or Monday. And they'll let you know, depending on where it's being delivered. If you're in Philadelphia, at Performance Meal Prep, and check all of our deals out. And our personal Philthy and Philly shop has a discount. And if you guys need a code or something for if you want Philthy and Philly gear, if you ever want a code, shoot us a DM. I will make you a custom code for you and your family to get Philthy and Philly gear and spread the good word. So I really appreciate you guys. Sorry we're late. Please watch us every week, usually Tuesday nights, and available right away Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning. We do it Tuesday nights, and it's available that night, Tuesday night, and it's available today. We're doing it on a Wednesday, but it's available right away. After I end the live, I wait a second, upload it to YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, so that next morning, if you're not a night person, tomorrow morning before the games, there you go. So we try to get it in after all the games, like Thursday through Sunday and Monday. Try to do it that Tuesday or Wednesday to recap the week and look ahead to the Eagles' next venture, which is the Eagles-Ravens. Enjoy the game. If you're going down to Baltimore, we'll see you there. Go Birds.